in there. All right. There, let's try that.
So what do you got going here?
We're doing the reproduction of a design on the floor. This is a big, one of my big black and white designs, and we're covering the floor with a big design. A lot of my work in the end is about, is New York really the place to be? I mean, that's the whole question about the show. That's the question about everything. I mean, in a lot of ways, the whole history of New York, the creative, cultural part, really the whole part, came from the ground up. It's really kind of like the American dream city. It was about people coming here who were struggling, whether they be immigrants or artists or people. They're coming here for adventure and the opportunity to make it, so to speak.
He was here first in regards to the people who are still on the scene. He's someone who's seen everyone from Keith Haring to Madonna come and go.
What does Clayton do? It's like, there's a million things he does. His artwork, his photography, his video, he never tried to make it one sort of cohesive, digestible product. His work is not necessarily about pretty things or beautiful things to look at. You know, it's about real life and real dramatic shit.
He made of a demonstration turned riot.
It was a police riot. Everybody in New York knows that it was police misconduct.
Well, I'm not surprised.
Buy yourself one of these. This is a revolutionary tool. Little brother is watching Big Brother. If you have one of these, and it's cheap, and it's accessible, it's a tool.
So another part of my work has always been there's a factor that relates to community. The art that I make, a lot of the sort of assemblages or whatever, the sculpture, that also shows an integration between like street, my aesthetic ideas, and art. So you have that integration. So if it comes from the street, part of the community, there's a representation there.
Hope I see you later. Hey, how are you?
I read the article.
Oh yeah, that's good,
stuff,
right?
Man. It made me sad though.
Yeah.
Is that true? I hope not.
Trying to.
My thought in the New York Times article was this, is I think that it was really about, it wasn't really about me, it was about an example. And I think I represented the symbol, the leaving of New York by bohemia or outsider artists or underground artists or whatever it is that you want to say. So to have me leave New York, being so connected to the Lower East Side, was kind of odd for people. But then on the other hand, the Lower East Side has changed so much that it's no longer the Lower East Side that anybody thinks about.
I was lucky enough to be friends with a few musicians from a band called DAMEHT. And at the time, the lead singer was possessed by having an artist design the backs of their leather jackets so that they would get visibility on the streets based on this back patch. The only artist that he could think of was Clayton Patterson. And so one day, the lead singer's fiance was standing in Katz's Deli in the Lower East Side, and Clayton happened to be there with his camera.
We were talking about New York and the Clayton caps and just our experiences living in the city pretty much, and how his must be so different from mine and yet the same. And from there, I just sort of told him that I was involved in this incredible collection of people and artists and musicians and filmmakers and designers, and he was gracious enough to give it a look over, and now we're like this huge dysfunctional family of sorts.
Now the whole point behind the $16 hamburger, the name of the show, was just to show the exaggerated rate of inflation in New York City.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
I'm Liz, and I'm the producer of Galerie ABP. So I renovated the space, and then we were all here, and Kate and I kind of just looked at each other, and we were like, we need to keep this space. So over the course of a few days, we just realized, oh my God, we're working with Clayton Patterson. Like, he knows the guys, he made their jacket patches, and he has all of this work, and he's never really been praised in the way that he should be. One thing led to another, and I think it was like 3 days between figuring we wanted the space and then having the meeting with the owner of the building that we realized that we needed to do a show for Clayton. From there, it was about 5 weeks from the okay to opening day that we had 21 pieces produced. We curated some of Clayton's original work. We uncovered all of the Tattoo Society posters. We found all the caps. We decided that Elsa's work would be here. We figured out where everything was going to go. We painted the floor. We procured a ton of photography from another gallery. It was like 5 weeks from that point until the party.
Well, one of the things that was inspiring for me was the location. Because that location, for me, in terms of a symbol of representing New York where it is right now, I mean, that's kind of the vortex. That's certainly one of the vortexes. Here we go, pipe and drum.
Clayton is Clayton and Elsa, and I think that that is so important to give attention to, and it was just incredible in that moment to see these two human beings who have collaborated through work and in life and as partners. You know, it's just, I think it's incredibly beautiful.
I think the show was a success for what it is. One thing, it shows you that there's a real big vacuum right now in terms of what's out there. So we got a lot of attention. It was mobbed and people had, waited in line. There were long lines, went all the way around the corner. I think it shows that there's a great need right now in New York. And I hope somebody wakes up to this. We have a band that has interesting songs that are ready to break through. We have, people like Riv, who's really on it and know. We have Kate and Liz and Hammer and Lucas and Roman. The whole team, really. But where do you go when everything's ready? And that's kind of the New York conundrum right now.
Clayton and Elsa go together very nice. Just perfect couple. They got the right smile, right thing to say. They make a lot of good friends all over each village. He always has something good to say. He's a good man. He's a good man.